and Northern, is it not? Yeah, Northern Ireland, right? And so they all have devolved powers, and over time I've said to us, even in Nigeria, this is something that we can look into. UK, they are not united. In UK, the Irishman and the Englishman, they never saw head to head. Up to tomorrow, they are still fighting. The Welsh and the Scottish man, they are still fighting tomorrow. In short, you will say something, the Scottish man will look at you, sorry, I'm not English. I'm like, what's the difference? They are like, no, just the way we have our Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Esako, Ibibio, Nipe, they have their own too. Just the same way we have oppression, they had oppression too, they fought it. In short, it was recently that Welsh was allowed to be spoken in Wales. For over 500 years, they banned Welsh in Wales. Can you imagine your own language? They say you cannot speak it. It is only English you must speak. And it happened in UK. And people, it's the last century that they now made it not a crime for you to speak Welsh in Wales. Scotland, they have their own language. Is it Gaelic? They call it. Sometimes they are thinking like, are you talking about? Even when they are speaking English, you have to be putting your ear to understand what is it that they are saying. So all of these things are there, but you see what? They have been able to focus on what dividends of good governance, not focus on who have failed them repeatedly, and they're still holding on to that. So with all the development they have, with all the things they have, because Aberdeen right now has gone back on lockdown. Some of them are angry. They are doing Sturgeon resign, whatever. Our own, when you say Buhari resign, so people will now be asking you to die. They want to kill you because they feel that Buhari is untouchable. Nobody is untouchable. We are the citizens, and the power resides in us. I think I've given enough of that overview. I'm going to open the lines now. I see MH Bauer has his hands up there. I might at certain times, let me just put it, sort of like maybe limit so that more people will be able to have their thoughts in here. Let me just set the timer up to about, something like 3 minutes might be what we'll be using, so that at least within that 3 minutes, we'll be able to have that conversation and somebody else will be able to take on. So please feel free, if you want to speak, just let me know. Just put up your hands. You see on the chat button, you can raise your hand, and then I will notice the fact that you put. Yeah, so please just on your this thing, I think it's where you have chat. There's a place where you can click on your hand raise. Please click on it, because if you raise your hand and you put it down, I might not remember, but I'll be able to see. Yeah, MH Bauer, I'm coming to you now. You're going to come on. I'm trying to unmute you. Okay, why is this thing? Okay, yeah, so we have 3 participants who have raised their hands and so far. So that's what you do. I will keep checking that, and I will see that. Hello, Musa Bauer from Kano. Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Nigeria People. How are you today?
I'm so cool, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So going by the headline of the conversation of today, well, first of all, I have to advise supporters of these political parties or political leaders that we have to bear this at back of our mind that politics is not an issue of do or die. It's just a plain game. We as followers or the supporters as their commoners have to bear this at back of their minds that when we fight party A today, tomorrow the leaders of party A may decamp to join the party B. We can see them at the same place, dining together in the same party. Politics is a game, not which I means the politics itself is a game, but administrative issue is something else. And next, we have to know that those political leaders or elders, they are playing with us and with our minds.
Okay.
We have to do that, or we have to be curious that if today you come, you or me joining party A and you as Aisha joining the party B as friends, but the politics divide our political views, beliefs. If I fight you now, then after all, we can come together and we can shame for the things that we have did.
Okay.
You get me here.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. So the thing is that the politicians are already doing that. Why is it that the citizens don't seem to know how to do that?
Because of the degree of illiteracy or lack of knowledge.
Okay.
And if you are following the recent case of Kano State, the former aspirant of PRP, he was a member of APC initially, then he joined PDP. As soon as he lacked the ticket, he haven't get the ticket to contest in the PDP. He decamped to PRP. Yes, just decamp from that PRP and joined APC. Of his supporters claim that he consulted them when he is about to decamp. So some are saying he haven't consulted. So at this juncture, we can find they are doing this for the benefit of their pocket.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have
Emmett Baba, unfortunately, I will need to stop you there a bit so that you stay on. If you can also add again, I will be able to take you on. There are quite a number of people who have their hands. So we have Michael from UK. We have Chooks Francis with his hands raised also. So thank you so much for your contribution. Hello, Michael from UK. I'm trying to unmute you now.
Yes,
Good
good
evening, sir.
evening. Good evening, Aisha. Thank you very much. First, you seem to be at the very edge of your camera. When you're talking, you seem to be going off camera. So I wanted to, that's better.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then secondly, concerning this proxy war, I think it is something that is really the politicians really using. For instance, today I was calling out Abike Dabiri, who is supposedly in charge of diaspora guys like us. And I got so much battered by the supporters. And all I was asking them is, show me proof about certain things you said she's done. I need to see. I am here. I am one of those who organize communities here in the West Midlands. And I can tell you, this woman's impact is absolutely unfelt here. In London, maybe, and believe me, go on my Twitter and you will see people coming after my neck. And I keep telling them, these people are not my bosses.
Yes.
We put them there, they work for me. I should be able to call her out if I feel she's not doing her work. And I think the problem we have with this, if I could use the word, I think I call it the Talakawa mentality. They want us to always do I think in how they call it the rankadede for them, because they are at the top. So they have to find a way to perpetrate division between us. And unfortunately, many of us do not understand that, no, the proxy war does not make sense. But unfortunately, this is one particular reason, as a roundup, one particular reason why we are not united to fight against them. You've said it all at the opening speech. They keep cross-partying, and unless we change the party structure, if you cross a party while you are in parliament or in whatever position, you should forfeit that because you have taken the votes of different people into a different party. That should be it. That is what we are even campaigning for in the UK. When an MP says becoming an independent, then pull out. You cannot take my vote as a Labour person and become an independent. And the people are signing petitions about that. So maybe if we start doing that, then people will realize that these politicians are not the Lord, they say. Sorry, I wouldn't use the word pity. I envy you because I see the battle you go through on Twitter. As one of your followers, sometimes I read it and I wonder how you survive it. Because to me, once they start the battle with me, it's not what they fight. I know what I want. I just simply pull out of the conversation. But you fight them. I raise my hand for you. You're fighting. But please, I think we need to have that conversation in a larger context. Let's stop this proxy war. It will help us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. You've really said so many things, and you really said it all. Unfortunately, for me, I get a lot of people say to me, "How do you survive those fights? How are you able to keep your cool?" You know, the thing with me is that I grew up in the ghetto. So I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up extremely poor. And I always say, when there's no resources, people fight. So in the ghetto, we had to fight. And I say to people, we ate insults for breakfast and lunch and dinner because there was no food to eat. So there's nothing you're going to say to me today so somebody calls me ugly. So so it means that in your face, I look ugly. It's a deal about it. So for me, I always say, the only person who can make me angry is myself. And I choose what I get, irrespective. And I always take insults and praises in the same vein. They are people's opinion about me. I do not allow the praises to get to my head, and I do not allow the insult to get to my heart. So I just look at it and I'm, oh, this is this person's opinion about me. What is most important is that when I look myself deep in the mirror, who do I see? When I'm alone with myself and my thoughts, how do I feel about myself? Because every one of us, we have a moral compass inside of us. No matter how much we lie to the outside world, when we sit down on our own, there's that voice inside of us that say, hey, you know, that thing you did wasn't right. So for me, as long as I'm good with myself, they can't say what they want to say. So coming to the issue of Abike Dabri, I think either today or tomorrow will be 1 year that myself and Abike Dabri had issue on Twitter. And that was basically, I can't even remember what the topic was about. There's this picture that some people on Twitter did. I was at a particular protest where I was shouting and my mouth was open. And so they joined the picture with that of a monkey and just put, and the monkey looks really cute. I wish they can get me that monkey. I will actually adopt it and have it as a pet. It looks so cute. And then you see this monkey, we were both like shouting the same way they put it out. And you know, what was so for me, and I say one thing to people, as a citizen, you can insult me anyhow you like. I will not say a one word to you. I will not, I will laugh. I will make fun of you. I will needle you. I will try to just, but the moment you are a public official, they don't burn you. They don't burn you, may you tear them. I will tear you to pieces. El-Rufai has seen that. Even right from the time of Doyo Okupe, 2015, we had a fight with him. As a public official, you are my employee. You dare not insult me, or you dare not come out. But as a citizen, we are both the same now. We are party. So anyhow you insult me, no worry. So when she came and then she saw this thing, and she made a comment on it, when she saw that picture, I went after her. And on that day, I remember I had just come out of operation. It wasn't even up to 6 hours that I came out of the theater. I had a major operation. When I saw that, and I said, this woman don't buy my, on my hospital bed, we went after it. And I have patience. One of the things, and I think I would take a time where I will really talk about this, because I see a lot of time when conversation is going on, people degenerate into insults. They begin to fight each other. They begin to insult each other. I say, why? Forget about insult. Just bring facts and figures. And for me, one of the things I had, I've always been a stubborn child. I've always been that child that would say, no, what is this? And one of the things that I always had, and which I'm so grateful for today, is the fact that myself and my dad, hey, we will debate for days. We will argue for days, because he will have one stand. I'm like, no, daddy, that is not it. I know I can't insult my dad now. I can't do anything. So what I would do is to go and look for facts and figures. Then there was no internet. There were newspapers. There were books. I read a lot. I started reading books on psychology as far back as when I was like 10 years old, because I love to read. Well, when there are no novels, I'll pick any book I see on my dad's shelf and begin to read them. I started reading motivational. This is it, Dale Carnegie. I started reading them when I was like 10. So I will go and look for books. It might take weeks, so I will go and do my research. Then I will come back and I will meet my dad and I'll say, okay, daddy, you see that thing you said? No, see what they said. I even checked this newspaper, I checked this food. And you know, my dad was that person who would like, oh yeah, when I'm correct, he's like, yes, you are the one who is correct. He will applaud me. And so it gave me room to be able to have that place where I can argue without being emotional. I wrote it on my Twitter page that said, look, for me, I argue without emotions. I argue with facts. If I don't know something you are arguing, I will keep quiet. I will go and check. I will come back, even if it's 1 year later. I will tell you, but that argument we had a year ago, see what I found out, see this. So I think we need to get to that level where people are allowed to express themselves. Whenever I put out for my talk show here, even when I was doing it on Twitter, I always say to people, dissenting opinions are welcome. I love dissenting opinions because when somebody does not agree with you, it means you have opportunity of learning, opportunity of looking at something from another angle. Yesterday we saw when Michael from UK wanted to make some this. He said he's going to make a controversial statement. At the end of it, I said, no, it's not a controversial, it's a pragmatic statement. You know, it's because of most times the way we behave here in Nigeria, because we are not brought up to challenge our teachers. We are not brought up to challenge our parents. We are not brought up to challenge elders. So any bit of challenge to our opinion or our views, we look at it as an affront or an insult. No, it isn't. And I was lucky at the school I went to. We were the pioneer students, BUK Staff Secondary School in Kano, and it was an Irish woman that was our principal. And we had teachers from all over the world, Ghana, India, and all of that. And one of the things I remember they allowed, we were the first set, was the fact that we could argue with our teachers. Sometimes things weren't right. I remember there was one topic, English language. We had done comprehension, and so I failed one particular question, and there were quite a few of us that failed it. The majority of the class went another way, they got it. When I got that question, I said to my teacher, sir, this isn't the way. I tell you, for 2 hours, for two period, I think that was about an hour. I think it used to be either 30 or 45 minutes per period. It was 2 last period. We argued over it. Mr. Adoble was a Ghanaian. I will never forget him. We sat down. I think I was in SS1 because initially when I started BUK System, I couldn't speak English. I couldn't write very well. But by the time we were in SS1, I was the best student in English. Guess what? When my fellow students used to laugh at me, what I would do was, like, after they finished laughing, I would ask them, how do you pronounce the word? And they would tell me, and I would learn. And today, at least I can speak English. Even though there are certain words I still cannot pronounce, because as I was growing up, we had no TV. I didn't hear the pronunciation. I only read them in books. And so my pronunciation is quite awful. I write better than I speak. And sometimes you hear some words. So I just avoid those words. But yet I was able to learn. So we argued on that day. And you know what? True, we didn't do any English lesson class again on that day. It was only on that particular subject. Mr. Adoble went, I think it was on a Friday. On Monday, when we come back, English class, Mr. Adoble recognized the fact that I was right. The way I had looked at the comprehension, was the right way. It didn't reduce him. So what did that do? That let us know we knew we could challenge our teachers, and we did it. So there was a time they brought an English teacher from us who was a Nigerian, and then his method of teaching wasn't good. We simply went to the school authority and we said, I think we were in SS2 or no, JS2 or no, sorry, SS2 or SS3, I can't remember now. And we simply went to the school authority. We said to them, we don't want this teacher. He doesn't know how to teach. But guess what? Are there schools in Nigeria today where students can actually do that and they will not be punished? So because of that, this is what has gotten us to where we are, where people cannot sit down and have a discourse without coming after each other, where people do not welcome dissenting opinion, where people cannot think critically. All people think about is that write it this way, it is this way. And I think those are part of the things that will go. At this moment, I'm going to bring Chooks on, Chooks Francis. Omoruyi, I hope I got that right. I see your hands up. I will come to you when Chooks is done. Hello, Chooks. Good evening and welcome to
Good evening, Aisha.
Good evening. So,
good evening, Aisha. Good
go
evening,
ahead
Nigeria.
with your contribution, please.
Yes, Aisha, you will try as much as we can, please, like what you'll be saying. we have a lot of challenges in our country. Precisely, the youth are the major
Okay.
challenge.
Can you please speak up a bit so that we hear you? I'm not hearing you very well. I don't know whether it's my own.
All right. Can you hear me now, Aisha?
Yes, much better.
Yeah. I said we have a lot of challenges in our country. And like this forum, this thing you're organizing, I think I can say that we should channel it like targeting our youth, try to educate them. Because a lot of things need to be changed. If we cannot educate this youth, we can't get there. The same set of people will remain where they are, and they will groom their kind of lifestyle. The people that will march into their shoes, they will groom them up, and Nigeria will remain like that. I heard when you talked about Western world. I live in Western world. When you're talking about the Irish, the Wales, and what, I've lived in England for years. I live in Dublin, and I know more of those areas. You see, these people, I know they started like 200 years ahead of us. But the only thing we can get there if we as Nigerians come together and fight for one cause. If we can fight for this cause, we'll achieve it. No matter your religion, no matter your ethnicity. Just we need to educate these people. I was thinking of, I want to like suggest this. I'm not like, if we can have like, because I know there are some good readers, people that love to read, maybe through reading they can get awareness. Have like, I know WhatsApp group doesn't contain that much people, but Instagram, whatever they call it, I think Instagram, no, not Instagram.
YouTube?
Let me try. No, not YouTube. Let me, just a minute. What?
Snapchat?
No.
Or TikTok?
No, let me ask my wife.
Okay. Okay, so sometimes you just get stuck on those words and
Telegram.
Oh, okay, Telegram. Okay.
If you have like let me say group chat on Telegram, could reach out to people, messages, people could like message you, tell you exactly what is going on within their area. And it's like gathering information, wherever we are, relating to our market women, our local people, try to tell them, oh, do not sell your vote. Because when you sell your vote in the next 4 years, you mortgage your children, whatever, and you wait for the next 4 years to get 2,000 naira.
Okay.
Because if I sell my vote, invariably, whatever you're going to do for 4 years, I don't need to criticize you. And I heard when you said, oh, that during time of Goodluck Jonathan, you criticize him and you can't vote for him. Yes, you're doing the right thing. Everybody, it's choice. It's a decision we make in life. Like Buhari now, I have a lot of northern friends because I served in Kaduna during my youth service. I served in NDA. A lot of Kaduna friends would talk most of the times. Even this morning, they call me to wish me happy birthday. You see, I realized that they up till now they are still in the same terrain. Oh, Buhari is the best. Why Buhari is the best? People are dying. Why these people keep praising one person that he is the best? It's on this, it's on that, it's untouchable, or whatever. People have even the rate of poverty in Nigeria. Nigeria is the headquarter of poverty in the world. And with those resources, borrowing, can you be able to like say, oh, they borrow billions of naira, millions of whatever from China, even to the extent that our sovereignty is involved. We are borrowing. What can they testify? Oh, this is the actual project. Every time they keep saying railway. What is the railway line doing? Where is the railway? How can you tell me you are doing just a kilometer from Lagos to Ibadan railway? It's taking you years, and you're borrowing billions of naira. Are we going out? If the whole Nigerians sit down, fold their hand, and watch this nonsense going on,
okay,
are we going to remain like this for life?
Definitely not. That's what I would say. Thank you
If
so
we're not
much.
going to remain like this for life, what can we do to challenge these people?
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, time as it is will always be against us. Thank you so much, Chips, for your contribution. You can still stay on. You can still call back and raise your hand, and we have you on again. In the meantime, we're going to move to the next participant here who has had his hand up, but his name is not there. He will tell us his name when he comes in. And then I'll go to Omoruyi Obaseki, who also has his hands up. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, ma.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. How are you doing too, ma?
Fine, thank you. So you heard the last caller, talking about the fact that we need to have target youths and also look for forum where we bring them together. So before you go on, I'll put you on the spot a bit and ask you a direct question in that. What do you think we can do to get the interest of the youth? Because most of the time I see them, there is the emphasis of putting their interest in frivolity, and I quite understand where it comes from. For example, there are certain programs that it's not going to be beneficial to them, but they spend all their days doing that. It's like a coping mechanism. They want to get away from all the problems that we have. So for them, that moment when they that show, they get away. But what do you think we can do? I see where about Telegram. Right? I have a Telegram group called Savings Challenge in Nigeria, where I teach financial literacy. I love to teach financial literacy. I've been a trader since the year 2000, since leaving university in 1999. I've never worked before. I've only done business, and I love to teach people. And it's quite an effort to get people to participate. Even this Telegram, this thing, we can have 300 people here speaking. I paid for this Telegram not to do anything, but just to talk to Nigerians, just to have a forum where we can all meet together and talk. But you see, like today, we have like 10 participants. Many people do not want, they don't even bother if it's a serious issue. If it was another issue, we're not serious now. You see a lot of people here. Mother, what do you think we can do before you give us your thoughts to ensure we are able to attract? Maybe we are not doing it, we are too old, we are not doing it the way we can get their attention. Do you think there is a particular way we should go about getting the attention of the youth?
Yeah, thank you very much, ma.
Can you give us your name and where you're calling from, please? Your name.
Yeah, my name is Waliullah Adegoke. I'm calling from Lagos State. I'm in Lagos State.
Okay,
Nigeria.
Having you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. The major issue is that the youths, most of the youths here in Nigeria, most of us are cowards, and the fear. Most of them know what is happening. We all know. We all know that we have bad governance. If you want to know that the youth really understand what's happening, try to engage them one-on-one. Most of them are tired and they don't know what to do. They understand what is happening. They know that things are really going bad. But the fear of coming out to engage the government is what is actually getting them scared. That's why you see them hiding in their corners, and all they only know how to do is to shout through Twitter and shout through Instagram. They don't know how to come out to fight. So this platform you've engaged are part of the platform we can use. Like I was telling one of my friends yesterday, I said, the social media handle is the best way to actually call on these youths, because youths are really sleeping. And thank God some of us are already waking up. Like some of the protests they've been doing for some days now is not unlike before, where they have fewer number of people. I think it's actually becoming more. Yeah, I think the youth are. I know it will get to a stage where we will all be fed up and we will all stand up. I think it's getting to that stage now. So all these platforms we've created, they are all perfect methods that we should use. But we just need to continue to enlighten the youth to stand up. Like some days ago, I was telling one of my friends, I said, the issue of police harassment whenever there's a protest, it has gone into a stage where we don't need to go the hard way again, unless things will just get worse and worse. In terms of whenever we go for a protest, just to tell the government what we expect from them, and they are not doing. They send the police to harass, and it's like we can't blame these police. They are morons. They are zombies. That's just the bitter truth. I'm sorry for using that on live session. That is just the bitter truth. They don't understand. We need to call them and educate them. So I was telling my friends some days ago that instead of going for a protest where we know that they will brutalize us, why not us use the social media and try to talk to this police? Let them understand that the 80,000 or 7,000 that they are collecting is nothing compared to the millions and billions of dollars these people are consuming. There are 70,000 that they are collecting. It will take them millions of years, thousands of years before they can see the same money that one person will just consume in less than 1 minute. Someone will just pack 500 million, nowhere to account for it. And they are sending you, and we are only coming out harmless to come and protest for the sake of your children, for the sake of for the sake of your grandchildren, so that your grandchildren will be able to live a better life. We might not meet that life that we expect from Nigeria, but our children, our grandchildren can actually have this life. So these people that are police, we can't blame them, but we need to enlighten them. We need to tell them that what we are fighting for, this is not about Shore, it's not about even revolution. It's about Nigeria and why we need to make Nigeria a better place. Like my political mentor that I used to follow, Patrick Lumumba. I hope you know him very well. Honorable Patrick Lumumba.
Yeah.
He said, people of the corrupt are very organized.
Yeah.
That is just the bitter truth. They are very, very organized. Look at if you see any politician that comes out to say something against them, in the next minute, the next hour, they are bringing the person down. The person will start shaking. Then we, the youth, instead of coming out to stand for the person, we are all quiet. Look at an example of this man that was talking about, that was trying to tell this honorable woman that there are a lot of projects, contracts that are given to their members that she doesn't know. Look at the response we Nigerians gave it. We turned it to a comedy.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. Everything became. In fact, there was a university in the US that did the research. I said Nigerians have a gene that makes us to adapt to anything. We need to take this gene away. We need to take this gene away, and we need to start talking. Everything is just funny. Everything is just a joke. Yeah. So the first thing, like what you are doing now, is to enlighten the youth. Like I said, the police. We don't need to fight the police because they don't understand. They don't know. Anybody that don't know, we just need to enlighten them. We need to call them like babies. So I was telling my friends some days ago that if each person who is interested in this can do a 3-minute video to talk to the police, just about police, just not to insult them, but to let them understand the reason why we are doing this protest. We are not doing this protest to cause war. We are doing this protest for the interest of their own children. They take them to war front. They take them to go and fight, and they don't even arm them. They believe that they are enjoying, but they are not enjoying what a real policeman should enjoy. But they are suffering. All those 100, 200 they are collecting can never get to anywhere. So we need to enlighten them. So if each person can make a 3-minute video, 4-minute video, talking to the police, and we have it like that, going viral every day, maybe mistakenly they can see it and watch the video. And if there's an hashtag that concerns the issue of addressing the police, because it's the police that they use to harass us. So 1, 2, 3 police, we try to understand that it's like these people are actually doing the right thing. So maybe next time you don't want to send them to come and harass us, they apply their sense. Yeah. Because this harassing will continue unless we apply this kind of wisdom. So like I said, what Patrick Lumumba said, he said, people of the corrupt are very organized. That is another angle you should look at it. If you look at people like, look at Sanusi today now, where is he? He's silent. He can't, why? It's not because he can't speak, but because they've shut him down. Many people that will come to speak, they will come to say the truth, but they will just shut them down because they are very organized. They don't want any mistake. And finally, what I will say, someone was talking about APC, PDP, the campaign, and I'm like I said, they are very organized. I'll use the analogy of an iceberg. If you know the analogy of an iceberg, what you see at the top is actually not the iceberg itself. Yeah. The iceberg actually is what is at the bottom. It's like 20 to 16 to 20 times the mass of what you see at the top. What you see at the top is just the tip of the iceberg. The iceberg is actually at the bottom. So the government actually, the politicians, the corrupt politicians actually are not those ones that we will see. It's not about Buhari. It's not about Fashola. It's not about Osinbajo. It's not about that speaker. It's not about those people who see. It's about those people that are underneath that involve the government, that have corrupted the affairs of the nation. So if we too as youth, we are not organized and plan this accordingly, and let us know that this revolution is not about war, it's about making things work, things will never go the right way. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Wali. Like, even though you went overboard over the time, I just couldn't stop you because there was so many things you were saying that you were just resonating and just hitting home. And I think this is part of the things. So for someone who is a youth, just talking to you, and then I mean, you've just given me hope. Just listening to you, I must say to you that you really, really gave me a whole lot of hope. I mean, seeing that the way you talk about issues and the way when you talk about this tired and not knowing what to do, that's what the youth are going to fear. Sometimes when we talk about something, if you're not in that position, you really don't understand. And so thank you so much for all the points that you have raised. And I really am interested in that video that you say we should do, and it's really something that we can work on. 2 minutes video, master, so that we can even have them on Twitter, because Twitter takes about 2 minutes 20 seconds. So just talking just like one-on-one, what would you have said to a policeman without the anger? Let him just know. And I think it's one of the things that we are going to explore here on Let's Talk Naija, people, and see how you go, as many people as we can get to actually do these videos and put it there. We can do a hashtag, whether it's Dear Policeman, me and you, we are in this together. When you're, sometimes just to reach out. And I totally agree with you. Part of the protest, we've done protests. There was a time I did an interview on AIT, and I mentioned the fact that, look, these policemen and women, they are citizens, they feel the pain, but the thing is that they have to obey the command that is given to them. And most times when they come out, they see these few people, there's no how they can disobey. Because I've been on protests where police are coming after you, they are standing, they are there to hit, they're like, we are with you. We are only doing our job. We are with you. I've been at protests where we spoke and you see policemen and women crying. When you talk about the issue, especially when we were doing the one on Lassa women, girls that had been taken off, you see them actually weeping. You see them saying to us, we are with you. When we, at Bring Back Our Girls Movement in Unity Fountain, when they wanted to attack us, I think that was in 2018, and tear gas us, what they did was that they swapped the normal police that will come. Anytime they want to attack us, they will bring the ones we've never seen before. Because some of those ones that we meet each other before, we've built affinity over the time. They know that we're fighting a cause, we're fighting for the soul of Nigeria. And there was a particular time that we did series of protests. It was a 7-day daily protest to the villa. At the end of that protest, we bought flowers, real flowers, not plastic flowers now. I think it was roses. I can't remember, was it 24, 36 roses? And at the end of the day, we thanked the police and we handed over those roses to them. There's that affinity. We are all citizens suffering together, but it's just that when this order from above comes, then you find out that they have to do what. And I'm so glad with a good number of the things that you talk about is the fact that we keep talking, we keep going. It's very difficult when you're living history because then, things are working so slowly. You're like, why would it not work? It's just like today, we'll sit down and say, oh, Mandela spent 27 years in prison. And he came out and he became president. But those 27 years were very long. Imagine when he was living it. But now that history is in the past, when you're living history, it's actually so long and so difficult. And sometimes you might not see what is really building and what is really growing. Before I call on Omorui or Baseki, I would just like to add that one of the things that you said for me, which was really touching, I'm like, okay, yes, we have to keep counting the little progress we are making, even though it's not as much progress as we want, is the fact that there are more young people coming out. This revolution that you see quite a number of them more are daring the system. They are saying, take us if you want to. I see young men, I see young ladies out there saying, if you like, carry us, we will follow you, we don't care. It's going. It might not be as much as we expected, especially with the fact that student unionism was killed in our country, and what they do again is to do this proxy war where they get the citizens fighting each other, because if the citizens are fighting each other and they are not united, they will not hold the leaders accountable. They will not come and fight the leaders. So they keep us with this proxy war and it keeps us engaged. So I must say to you, Waliula, thank you so much. That's the caller that called it from Lagos. Now I'm going over to Omori Obaseki. I'm sure that's my brother from Edo State, from that name. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Let's Talk Naija, people. Go ahead with your contribution.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know everybody. I know.
My Edo brother, but you can't speak like a Igbo person now, bro.
Okay.
For my hand,
Okay. Not this. I'll try use pidgin, but
no, even
I know everybody when they
speak the English where we go understand. You know.
Okay. I think everybody on call will want to know my last name is Obaseki, and they want to know if I'm related to the governor of Obaseki. Yes, we're related, but I don't know him in person, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I do support him, though.
Yeah, okay.
So thank you for the platform, and I've been reading your comments, and I've been challenged, and like, wow, this is good. But there's one question that I've always asked everybody that I come to meet, every Nigerian that I've met in my journey. The question I've always asked is that, what has Nigeria done to Nigerians to hate Nigeria so much? That's one of the questions I've been asking.
Can you repeat the question again? Can you repeat the question again?
Yes, I'm going to repeat it.
Okay.
What has Nigeria done to Nigerians for Nigerians to hate Nigeria so much?
Okay.
Right? It's a big question that I've asked myself. Why do we hate this country so much? Because if we love this country and take it to be our own and understand that there's no another country for us, this is our country, we'll do everything to make the country work. But it seems that we so hate the country, regardless of everything that the country has provided for us to become one of the best country in the world, we're not there. Because we so hate it that we're ready to take $1 billion, 1 billion naira, 1 billion out of the country and remain in darkness and be calling and anybody worshiping us. I don't know, maybe most of us here will be in our 40s and 50s. If you look at that Lagos-Ibadan road, since we've been born, they've been budgeting every year to do that road, but it's never done. And I'm like, why do you hate yourself, right? Because it's you and I that is going to walk on that road. Why will you want to put this money in Switzerland and then come and look for people to, and go through Potopoto with car made from Japan? But I've always asked this question and nobody has really given me the answer. Then the second thing I've always asked myself is this: why do we Nigerians like to lie to ourselves? Why do we lie to ourselves? Why do we see what is right? For example, you listen to the Minister of Transport. He will tell you all about this railway. And you ask, where is the railway you guys have been talking about every day? You don't see it. And like, why are we lying to ourselves, right? That's another big question I've been asking myself. Then another question I've asked myself, which is the third question before I start talking about what we can do, is that what is wrong with our mindset? How do we get to this level that our mindset is all about to destroy, to lie, to deceive others, and to make others think that we are semi-gods in the nation? Right? So those are three questions I've been asking myself. And I know I've heard everybody talk, but one thing that I've noticed in us in Nigeria is that we try to segregate this issue. And because of that, the police sees it as a youth problem. The youth sees it as a politician problem. The politician sees it as a grandfather's problem. But this is a Nigerian's problem. It's all our problem. For us to move forward, for us to be able to find solution, we must all agree first and say what we are doing is wrong. We have to stop lying to ourselves and say what we are doing is wrong. What is the benefit of what we're doing? You writing a contract with a Chinese person. The Chinese person is fighting for his own goodness of his own country. Why can't you do the same thing for your own country? Why are you lying to yourself? Why do you want to take this money and so run away to a country that you become a third-class citizen without building your own self? So looking at all those, I've been trying to ask those questions and I've been trying to work on it. But I've come to realize that the only way we can solve this is to go back to the beginning. What we can do from the beginning is not only a youth problem, it's a problem that we have to take to schools. We have to start educating the young ones coming now. Because what has happened is that the way you and I was educated, like you talk about education right now, if you look at the education my father's got, and if you look at education my uncle got, which is Godwin Obaseki, he's just realizing that that is the same education that has to flow to everybody, right? But it's not flowing. I think my time is up, right?
Yes.
So,
You
but
did
I
say
think
that, right?
we can work to change our mindset by going back to the grassroots of start educating our people from the beginning, school, marketing, and everybody, and start working that upward and changing our mindset to understand that this is our nation. Nobody will come build them for us. Nobody will come develop them for us. Even me, if I did build us, my brother no will follow me build them. The only thing we will do is say, the material when you use remain for your own house when they build. If you I come collect them. But go buy land, they build house for me. That's what we Nigerians have to realize.
Absolutely. And of course, no matter what, like my children will always say, if you take the woman out of Agbede, you cannot take the Agbede out of the woman. So I will say to you, even if you take the man out of Edo, you cannot take the Edo out of the man. End up with that pigeon. Thank you so much. I think so. As we're rounding up now, there are no hands up. So I will use all of these questions of yours to just round up today's edition of Let's Talk Nigeria People. And quite a number of questions you have raised, of course, and I will just go through them and as much as I can. But I think I won't round up on that. So in case, because they are quite really big questions. When I do, I can open the floor for maybe, hopefully maybe Michael from UK. I love hearing him speak. I'm going to look for you on Twitter and actually follow you. I'm stalking on Twitter. I've been learning from you. I love to learn. And then we'll have him. So the first question that you asked was that, what has Nigeria done to Nigerians, for Nigerians to hate Nigerians so much? I will use myself as an example. I am somebody who, when I talk, I try, because I relate to stories. It sticks more to me, and I'll get my lessons from there. I always use them. As a teenager, I hated Nigeria very well. Absolutely. I hated the suffering in the country. I hated what was going on. I hated the looting. I hated the fact that there was so much poverty. In 1991, when I wrote my SSC, I didn't have textbooks. I did sciences. There was chemistry. There was a textbook by an author we called it Ababu. I begged and begged for that textbook. I couldn't get it. This is something that in decent countries, this book should have been available for everyone, even though my parents couldn't afford it, they could. I went to if I had finished from a public school, I was in a public school before I came to a private school. If I had finished from that public school, I tell you, I won't be having this conversation with you, because I would not have been able to speak English. When I went to this private school from this public school, I was already in Form 2. I came down, I wrote the entrance exam. I came down to Form 1, but I knew nothing. I couldn't speak English very well. I couldn't write English very well. And it took my father using his hard-earned money he got from his dividends, investment he had done before, to be able to pay for my school fees. So the thing we have, the reason is that Nigeria has failed Nigerians so much that they have nothing. They have no love for Nigeria. It's like a parent who abandons the child, and then the parent in old age comes and expects that the child is going to love that parent. It's not possible. You cannot abandon a child and expect the child to love you. That is the problem. That is where we are in our country. And it's really something that has affected us all throughout. There are quite a number of things that makes make people angry at Nigeria. When I turned 40, so for me, the first year I wasn't interested in Nigeria. I will tell you, up until 2014, I don't listen. Even up to now, I hardly listen to news. I don't do newspaper. I don't even bother about Nigeria issue. All I cared was to grow my business, grow my immediate people around me. How do we empower ourselves and leave the ghetto? Especially in a country where if you are poor, you are faceless, you're nameless, you're voiceless. in Nigeria. You do not have dignity as a poor person. You are not seen as a human being. They will trample on your rights and do everything away with you. You cannot expect loyalty. You cannot expect patriotism. You cannot expect that Nigeria to love Nigeria. That Nigeria, we hate Nigeria. As a young girl, I was 10 when Buhari first came in as military head of state. And I remember the beatings that people received. I am 46 today. I'm going to be 47 on 12 December 2020. But guess what? I still have an image in my head, and I'm speaking to you now. I'm seeing that image of a man, a very fat man. He was black. I am seeing the tray he was carrying. I'm seeing the meat that was on his head, and I am seeing I'm seeing it right now, literally, what I've kept in my head for over 36 years of soldiers flogging that man and dragging him on the floor and throwing him into their van. There is no way that man is going to love Nigeria, because Nigeria didn't love him, and Nigeria hasn't been there for him. So we have suffered so much. People that have suffered injustice, there is no way you expect them to love this country. Nigeria is a country where every man is for himself. First of all, we are not a nation. There is no Nigerian identity. We have Hausa identity, we have Igbo identity, we have Yoruba identity, we have Edo identity, we have Nupi identity. We do not have a Nigerian identity. An American will stand before you and say, I am an American. Even if it was yesterday he got his American visa, he will proudly say it. I have never known any country other than Nigeria. My ancestors were Nigerians. My everything have been Nigerian. But I do not have an identity where I can say I am Nigerian. My identity will more be pushed towards my Edoness or my Agbedeness or my Esakoness. So because of that, we are a country. We are not a nation. And the people that are supposed to build a nation have refused to build this nation. They have insisted on dividing us because they benefit more when we are divided. A few people can be empowered and the rest of the people disenfranchised from that. So that is the problem. Having said that, so a situation whereby if, for example, you're looking for a job today in Nigeria, you have the best of results. I tell you, you're not going to get a job if you don't know somebody somewhere. How do you expect that person to love Nigeria? How do you expect that person to give their all for Nigeria? How do you expect that person to die for Nigeria? When a woman who has suffered, who has spent all her years selling ugu in the hot sun, she sent 5 of her children to university. Those children have come out of university and they're still living in her one-room apartment and they have no jobs. And they say to her that she has to go and meet the senator or the House of Rep member to write a note for them. There will be no love for Nigeria. This person, some people pay. I got a person, this recent NNPC employment that was done. There is a young man in Zaria who has first class. His mother is a trader. Because I have my business in Zaria, my sister knew about him. He had first class. When they did the test, he passed the test. He came for interview. They asked him for ₦1 million. The mother didn't have ₦1 million. When this thing came out, my sister contacted me. And I said to my sister, go and meet them. I am ready to carry this fight to wherever. I am a crazy person. If you've seen me before, when I carry issue on my head, I don't mind. Many times I've gone out to protest where I never thought I would come back home. Policemen have pointed their guns to me and I've said my last prayers in my mind and out aloud. I'm like, this could be it. And I said to the man, get this thing, give me all of this thing. I'm going to be on NNPC neck, whether they like it or not, they will do something about it. But guess what? The young man, after a few days, I didn't hear that. I called my sister and she said, they say they don't want trouble. So there's nothing I can do. Fear. So that young man, how do you expect him to love Nigeria? If he ever gets opportunity to get a job, how do you expect him not to loot Nigeria? If he had paid that #1 million and he was able to get the job, the NNPC job, how do you expect him not to look the other way when people will come and give him some millions of dollars as bribe, and then they will say instead of 1 million, instead of 1 million barrels, they got 500,000 barrels. He will look the other way. We saw somebody who was GMD of NNPC that was found with millions of dollars, and he said they were given to him as gift. He didn't realize that gift is bribe. He didn't realize it. No, he felt he didn't steal. He doesn't know that that bribe that was given to him, and he looked the other way and something was done. Nigerians lost a lot. Sometimes crude oil theft is being perpetrated with people who are in office, and yet our nations will lose so much because somebody wants to earn a few $1 million. It's because there is no nation. It's because Nigeria hasn't got your back. For people who have worked, I see a lot of young adults, I see a lot of teenagers, youth, who are angry at their parents. They are angry that their parents worked diligently for Nigeria, they were patriotic, they didn't loot any money, but today they are suffering. Meanwhile, their parents' counterparts who looted our collective wealth, they are rich. They are the ones who are calling the shots. They are the ones who are oppressing us today. How do you expect such a person to be patriotic to Nigeria? We have a nation where bad behavior is rewarded and good behavior is punished. These people, they serve Nigeria. You see pensioners. Pensioners are there dying. They serve Nigeria. They didn't loot money, but they don't have good healthcare system. They don't have housing. They don't have good transport system. They are dying, nobody cares. This is the reason why Nigerians hate Nigerians so much. So when they get opportunity, they want to steal and be able to set up their families. There is no nation. And until we begin to build this whole need of having a nation, we are not going to go anywhere. Our constitution puts in state of origin. Our constitution puts in catchment area. Our constitution is talking about federal character. Federal character means that somebody who is qualified for a job will not get that position. Somebody who is not qualified will get it because they need to get some people from all over the country. How do you expect that person to be patriotic to Nigeria? I am from Edo State. My parents are from Edo State. I was born and brought up in Kano. I did my primary, my secondary, my university in Kano. But today I'm not regarded as a Kano State indigene. When we are writing entrance exam, when we were young, even though I was educated in Kano, I grew up in Kano, I speak Hausa like a native, I spoke Hausa before I spoke English, yet they would tell me to bring the cutoff mark from somebody who from Edo State. And I will have to bring 130 something. Meanwhile, somebody from Kano will bring 60 something or less, and somebody from Zamfara will bring only 2 marks. And then you tell me as a child that Nigeria is one. How is Nigeria one? So how will I be patriotic to Nigeria when I saw in the same class somebody who got less marks than me went into secondary school, but I went to unity school, but I was denied unity school because I did not score the marks of somebody from Edo State, even though I was born in Kano, I was in public school in Kano, and I got the same education in Kano. Are they saying that Edo people have better brains? Then why is it that when it is time for appointment at federal level, you don't put more Edo people than Kano people? And you tell me that Nigeria is one. Nigeria can't be one. It's not. And I won't have that loyalty to Nigeria. So the Nigerian state in itself has over time denied us the capacity to believe in our nation, the capacity to fight for Nigeria, the capacity to stand for Nigeria. Those who stood for Nigeria, those who did the right thing, they've been shortchanged. They're the ones who are suffering. They're the ones who come out, they get nothing. If you're looking for appointment today, you're not going to be employed based on your merit. You're going to be employed based on who is in the place. That's why you see when a Yoruba man is in office, you find a lot of Yoruba people in that parastatal. If it's Hausa man in charge, you see a lot of Hausa people in that parastatal. If it is Igbo man in charge, you see a lot of Igbos in that parastatal. If it's Edo man in charge, you see a lot of Edo people in that parastatal. That is a problem. So it is every man for himself. That is why today when we talk about issue of corruption, you see people who come out to say, don't talk about this person's corruption, he's our person. After all, when your own was doing it, we did not talk. Because at the end of the day, people's loyalty isn't to government. There is no governance. Government has failed the people. It is other people that are supporting people. You go to a lot of areas today, you find out that it is one man that laid the road to that village. You find out that it is one man that put up the electricity. that put a, what's this thing called a transformer in that village. You find out that it is one woman that dug a borehole. So the loyalty of the people is to that one man and to that one woman, and never to Nigeria, because Nigeria has not been there for them. And so that is why even when they say this man is corrupt or this man has stolen your word, they will say, yes, he's our person, leave him alone. What about the other person? In 2014, I was having a conversation with my mom. And you know, I think as of that time, was it 2015, when there was this change in NNPC and the corruption were coming out? You remember the price water, is it PwC report and all of that? And my mom was like, so I was talking so much. My mom was like, hey, do you know that one of your town person is part of the direct? And I said to my mom, he can be my brother. If he was amongst the people that looted, he will go to jail. That's what we should do. So you see, for them, it's like, oh, he's one of us. Let's not do this or do that. That is wrong. So that is where the problem is. People are dependent on the same people who are helping them. And so because Nigeria has collectively failed us, Nigeria has never been there. You go with your green passport. Who cares? Chibok girls, up to today, 6 years after, 112 of them are still in captivity. How do you want them to be loyal to Nigeria? How do you want their sisters to be loyal to Nigeria, their siblings to be loyal to Nigeria? How do you want their parents to be loyal to Nigeria when Nigeria was never there for them? In 2014, my daughter said something. She said, Mommy, and she was 12 at that time. She said, Mommy, if one of the Chibok girls was an American, they would have been found by now. And it broke my heart, because my daughter knows that the life of an American child is more than her own, because their country will stand for them. No matter how many years you've been away, an American will tell you, my country will come after me. So they will be ready to do everything for their nation. Let's look at COVID-19 today. Americans got money. Canadians got money. British people got money. What money did our government give us? What did they say? The billions they say they paid. How many of you have seen those billions? But at the end of the day, instead of us to make demands on government, what were we doing? We were calling each other. We were dropping account number for our fellow citizens. We were with entitled mentality. We were even abusing them. Somebody will call you at 2 a.m. and tell you that he has not. When did he call Buhari at 2 a.m. to tell him that? Did he call his House of Rep member or his senator or his whatever? So with that, there is no way you will build that loyalty. You cannot tell people that you have never been there for them that, oh, come and stand for Nigeria. So for me, I don't know whether that has answered your question, but that's what I think. I might be wrong, which is this debate. That's the way I look at it, to say this is the reason why we do not have that loyalty in our country. And unless we sit down and deliberate and say our nation must begin to do the right thing. There's something I remember, okay, there's this thing that they say they're going to do. They're going to share the government is saying they're going to share 23 billion for 10 million households. You know, the first time you hear 23 billion, it looks like big money. That is 2,300 naira per household. If you divide 23 billion by 10 million, you know, I do this, there's this newspaper review I do every day on Plus TV. Sorry, not every day, every Wednesdays and Fridays. It's 8:30 a.m. In the morning, Wednesdays, I do that newspaper review. And it was there, federal government to give 33 billion. In my head, as a market woman, quick, I cancel the zeros. I'm like, that is 2,300 naira. How many cups of rice will 2,300 naira buy for a family? And meanwhile, that 23 billion, I assure you, more than 50% of it will be looted. And they will say to you that they have given out this thing. If you give somebody 2,300 naira, and the person will say to you, this one is too small. Now what will I do with it? But if government give them some that get it, they will keep on praising the government. So these are some of the issues that have gone there. So the other thing that you talked about is that why do we lie to ourselves? The reason why we lie to ourselves is because we are people that want to look good. We are people that want to please. And so even when we are suffering, we are smiling. And I think it is the caller from Lagos who talked about that gene that Nigerians have. And it's actually, it's been researched. Nigerians are the happiest people on earth. We have a particular gene. Our own is the strongest in the world, where no matter what is done to us, we are happy. We find, and that you will see it in the Nigerian system. That is why When Nigerians are out of Nigeria, they excel in every way, good or bad though, they excel. You see, let me drop my glass. I'm a proud Nigerian. When people say they travel out of the world, they are feeling somehow. No, me, I don't. Oh. They say, oh, because people are doing 419, how does that even concern me? Are we the other ones that are doing? Because Nigerians are doing so well. We are amazing people. We have talent. Put Nigeria anywhere. That's why you find out the rest of Africa, they don't like us. And of course, we are this in-your-face kind of people. We are always there. There is so much in us. But because our country does not give us enabling environment, you find people are not excelling. And so this gene that we have, it makes us to adapt. And so people are ready to praise other people. People don't want to, so that they will not say, and then we keep lying to ourselves. We keep supporting what we should not support and all of that. And also we have allowed ourselves to be enslaved by religion. People are too lazy to read about their religion. People are too lazy to when it comes to reading, it's a major problem. And so because of that, they have allowed people to shortchange them. Your pastor will read something, you will challenge your pastor. Go and read it yourself, you will not read it. Your mala will read something, you will not challenge your mala. You will not read it yourself, you will not do anything, just allow it to be just like that. That's not the way to go. And so whatever I say, people have gotten into a place where they've boxed them. For me, as a child, I loved reading. In short, I read the Bible, I read the Quran. Even when sometimes I used to fight with my RK teacher. I was a very stubborn student. When they fight, I'll just go to CRA class. There was a time, I think for a whole term, me and my RK teacher were fighting. Immediately it's time, I'll just go to CRK. I'm there. I'm reading, even all those children, these children buy biblical books, everything. I read them. And sometimes even up to now, I have to pause because sometimes I mix up the stories. We have the same prophet. If I'm talking, then I'm like, oh, okay, is it in my head, I'm like, okay, is it the Bible version and this one, or is it the Quranic version and everything? I read hadith. Even with my parents, sometimes something happened. All you need to do, I'll just go, this is what the hadith say, this is what this say, this is what that say. But a lot of people don't want to. So whatever they are told, they believe it. And because they believe it, they are too lazy to read. They will keep defending that lie. Today on social media, you see people who are saying to me, today or throughout, oh, there was no attack during protest during Jonathan. And I'm bringing facts and figures to them. I'm bringing links. I'm showing them videos of where 17 people were killed during Occupy Nigeria. I showing them video where policemen were beating protesters during Occupy. And the person is still saying, this is propaganda link. This is this. So what do you expect? Is that laziness? So because they hold on, they don't say they don't know. We keep lying to ourselves and all of that. And then what it is about our mindset. He talked about this mindset. It's all the part of is every man for himself. You know, when they talk about life being short and brutish, I can't remember the whole saying the way it is now. That is where we are. Every man for himself. So you steal as much as you can. And then we have this, there is a mentality we have, which is scarcity mentality. So I always explain this scarcity. Let me explain it to you. So as Nigerians, things are not for us. So because of this poverty mentality and the scarcity mentality, we think everything is going to finish. So when you are in a position, you want to steal, even the things you don't need to steal, you will steal it. Imagine some officials, they will carry chairs. Imagine carrying chairs from government house or your body and carrying it. What do you need chairs for? Look at the other time, you see that Okorocha that carried, they had to be following him to collect certain things. But what do you need them for? But because of this scarcity mentality we have, we want to grab things. Let me give you one example where you will understand the power of our scarcity mentality. If you're going to cross road on a Nigerian road, right? When I go abroad, if I'm crossing road, I'll get to that zebra crossing. I'll just be going. I'll put in Dubai, put your leg, the cars will stop. Let me try it in Nigeria. The man will knock me off, or the woman, and they will abuse me on top. So if you see in Nigeria, if you are driving and you want to enter road or you want to cross, you will see somebody that was driving slowly. The moment he sees you want to enter road, the person will put on speed. It's scarcity mentality. He will want to grab the road as he will not allow. You know, that thing baffles me. I'm like, what does it take from you to just stand and allow this person pass? But because we have this, oh, it will finish mentality. Let's grab it, let's grab it. We don't allow anything. And so we have to get to a place where it's a deliberate effort for us as a nation, for people to begin to understand that we have to build our nation. Then our nation will be there for people, where people will know that you don't need to be rich to live a decent life. Not everybody needs a car. Not everybody needs a gem. Not everybody needs speaker. If you have your good house, your NEPA is there 24/7, or PHCM or disco or whatever you call them. You have light 27. You don't need generator. If there are public schools that are good, your children can go to school and get the same education like the child of a minister. You don't need money for private school. If you have good transport system, trains, buses, you can live in certain places without a car and be able to move around freely. You don't need all of these things. When people know that they are small money, they can buy food and eat. They can go to hospital. If they have kidney problem, they don't have to be going to abroad. They don't have to be begging for money. They can get people to help them. They can get a treatment. They have NHIS, just like UK people have NHS. See, UK people were clapping for their NHS all the time. I'm in Scotland right now, speaking to you from Aberdeen. I've been in Aberdeen since February 25th. I was supposed to go back May 25th, but the airports were closed. So in the last 5 months, I've been in Scotland. I came over here. I came first. What was that? In September last year, because my youngest child was starting university, and at the time she was starting university, she was less than 18, and of course they needed a carer. So we felt we needed to be here. I needed to be here to get her settled. I was going to be here for 1 year, which is what I've done now, before I go back home. They haven't taken light for 1 day. And so I paid £23 for the whole GSM for the house. Light, I pay how much? Talking money, I've not put on gen. Meanwhile, in my house in Abuja, you have gen that is worth over 10 million naira. Why do I need to have that? Because I need electricity. When I went briefly home, the first time I was doing the Let's Talk, they took lights. It was when they put on as welcome back to Nigeria. But you don't need this money. In Nigeria, you need money to live a decent life. Abroad, you don't need money to live a decent life. You don't need to be rich to live a decent life. And these are the things that we have to continuously look at, and the things we have to, put in place for us to have that decent nation. So, like I was saying before, here in UK, they've been clapping for their NHS. Anywhere you are walking, you will see on people's houses or places, they have this rainbow sign they did. They will say, thank you, NHS. How many of us have said thank you to Nigerian doctor? You want him to be patriotic. Nigerian doctors, they've not paid them salaries. Lagos State doctors had to go on strike. I think it's Abia State also. 14 months, they've not paid their doctors. And you want them to be patriotic to Nigeria. How? You want the person to go there and not steal money because he knows that if he leaves the job, there's no security for him. Today, I don't even know. I could go on and on. I can speak for Africa, but I think I'm going to end it here today because I think I've spoken for almost like how many minutes. I see Efosa has raised up his hand, even though I said earlier I might stop this thing. But I think I'll allow Efosa to speak. And if there's anybody that wants to add something to what I've said, then we can have that. The issue of Nigeria, you can just keep talking about it. But I think, please, for those of us who can, there are some people that cannot even afford to face the problem of Nigeria because they are busy surviving. They don't even have food to eat. They don't have things to do. Those of us that can afford to face the problem of Nigeria, please, let's do it. For me, I don't want to be an irresponsible parent. I don't want my children to fight this war. I want them to be fighting better things. I want them to be thinking of the environment. I want them to be fighting just all of these basic things they are doing. Hello, Efosa Lucky. Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Nigeria People.
Good evening, madam. It was actually beautiful to be part of your program this evening.
Thank you so much.
This is my first time, actually. I work and I'm based in Dubai. I'm actually from Edo State, Nigeria, from Benin precisely.
And I am from Agbede. Well done, bros.
Oh, nice meeting you, my sister. Your program is wonderful.
Thank you.
A program I'd enjoy joining this evening, and I pray I will have time some other time to also be a part of the program.
The program is weekdays, Mondays to Fridays. So inshallah on Monday we'll have another edition.
Wow, I know every Friday we used to have off. That means I will
Okay,
be
yeah, so every Friday
happy.
you can join us. So it's from Monday to Fridays.
Yes. Yes, to my contribution to what you're actually saying precisely, I think most of our activists are doing a lot precisely. And I think they are not actually getting the support, irrespective of the fact is that them themselves are only fighting against the government alone, to my
Mm,
view. You
mm,
see, I think the best way to begin to really get it right for the activists to be having more support in the terms of the masses and in the terms of also the politicians is to actually join those oppressed politicians. For
oh,
example, if you look at what is happening in Edo State now, it
mm,
shows that it is total abuse of power for the
mm,
side of the opposition fighting the government. If
mm,
you are following from the beginning, you will see that that man believes in process. He
mm,
believes in the rule of law and he
mm,
believes in the constitution of Nigeria. I'm
mm,
talking about Governor Nogegase Obaseki. And
mm,
if you look at what APC, most especially Oshomole, is doing to him, it calls for we, the mindset Nigeria, we, the Nigeria that are completely complete in head, to stand up and say this is wrong and this is right. This is right. For a man like that to be oppressed, and we see the talks pulling out, trying to fight against the right thing, pulling the man down, trying to tell the man that what he's doing is wrong, when we know the right-minded people of Nigeria knows that the governor is not corrupt, the governor is trying to lead Nigeria to a progressive future.
mm,
And we can only see a few activists coming out. People like you, people like the GD are supposed to stand, to support people like this so that when these right politicians come out to say enough is enough for these wrong things, and
mm,
then we have the confidence that people like you will support them even when they stand against wrong things. But
mm,
when they have that feeling that if we decided to fight, we are fighting alone, nobody is going to join us, everybody is going to be saying, and not them. They are corrupt, not the same leader is like that, is like this. You will hardly see the leaders coming out to fight. And
mm,
secondly, I want to also let the world know that what is happening in Edo State, I think, is a beginning of restructuring of democracy in Nigeria. If
mm,
God help Governor Godwin Obaseki and the people of Edo State that is re-elected, at least that will set a good an example for democracy in Nigeria. We are believing God that is going to win and Edo State will be great again. Thank you for your
okay.
privilege you have given to me to be part of your program this evening.
Thank you so much, Efosa Lucky Osazwa. It's a pleasure having you on Let's Talk Nigeria people, and hopefully we'll have more of you come join us, even if it's Fridays that you can join us. On the issue of Obaseki, so they say he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. For me, the support I will give in Edo State is for a candidate that is neither Obaseki nor Ize Yamu, which should be somebody else totally being brought in and supported and winning, because that is when truly for me to be the people that have won. At the end of the day, it's still the same people who go from one party to the other. Tomorrow, Oshomole and Obaseki are going to make up and they'll continue all they're doing. That we study, I'm not taking out the fact that he might have been doing things the right way. I'm not in any position to say that because I've not really followed the Edo State politics very well. I don't really know what goes on there, but it's still the same way. When they go from one point to the other, I want a situation whereby we look at, there are a lot of candidates and they came out in 2019. Hopefully 2023, we see more of them. Before then, they start working on the issue. Let's go. I totally agree with you. We should support people who are fighting and all of that, but it's not when they're fighting from their own selfish point of view or when they have a fallout. And there's a difference between standing when they are oppressing you as a person, or than standing when other people are being suppressed. So for me, that is the main. A lot of people have been killed in Edo State. This Fulani heads, but even my own village, but then we've had quite a number of issues of killings and everything, women in farm being raped and all of that. For how long has the governor really stood there? we talk about rice revolution in the whole of Nigeria. I didn't see Edo State governor tapping into that rice revolution. If you know Edo State, Agbede is like the Benue of what Benue is to Nigeria, Agbede is to Edo. So we do a lot of farming there. We even used to have rice mill, the biggest rice whatever in so many years ago. Agbede rice is known. Even right from in those days, in the early 80s, Agbede rice is called Uncle Ben's. So when you're talking about rice, Agbede rice is amazing. And it's one of the things I'm soon going to start an online shop when I go back. It's one of the things that I made up my mind. I'll begin to look at all these products that we have that people farm and let's see how we get and bring the farmers together. So I didn't get that from him getting all of those. These are some of the things that I'll be able to say. You're doing so much. So when you're fighting for yourself, for your own selfish instead of standing, I'm not going to be there fighting for you. You're not fighting for the people. You're fighting for you to get your second term. So hey, go do that yourself. But anytime we have people who are, of course, we always stand there and talk about the things the way they should. We have two people, and they are going to be my last callers that we'll have, which is Omori Obaseki and also Michael from you. I will take Omori, I will give you some minutes, then Michael will summarize everything. He will be the person to speak last and end up the whole round up today's program. Those are the two that I'll be able to take again. I see Omori is Obaseki smiling, he's dying Pepsi. Governor, people,
I'm cool. I saw Fosa probably, everybody is looking for a bit. But until we come together collectively or individually to contribute to that country, the country is not going to move forward. When I asked those questions, I didn't ask it from the perspective of the country, the perspective of the individual and the collectiveness of we as Nigerians, because it is we that make up that Nigeria. It is we that is actually damaging the country.
Okay, so let me just here. So it's still the same thing. So because Nigeria, people are helping. People are the ones helping their families. I'm sure how many people have called you. So you see, people are helping their families.
Aisha, when I'm looking for is structural system. We don't.
So it's the same thing. You cannot take them. You can't them helping the country kill them. So the thing is that people are helping individual, because most people in Nigeria, it's not government that is helping them, it's people. That's why there's so much pressure on other people, cost to pay school fees. Everybody, except if you really close, there are many people apart from your children that you are paying school fees for, which you're already supposed to do. So they are looting. Some of them actually loot to help their people. Because the moment you get into a position, I tell you, the moment you get to position, millions of your people will be at your door. This one will tell you his money, that one will tell you this one, that one will tell you. So people are actually helping individuals, but they are not doing this structural thing because they don't see it from the point of need to fix for it to be good for all of us. I don't know, I might be wrong. Go ahead, I'll let you finish. Michael, your perspective.
But what I'm saying is that if you ask somebody like Michael and you ask somebody like Efosa, and if you ask that question, you see that the system there is richer than individual, not individual richer than the system, because it's the system that make up the country, right? I always tell people like this. I said, the best way to understand a country, you gave an example of that. If you go into Heathrow today and you take a taxi out, you can see how the country is organized. It's not the person that organizes it. It is a system that is being organized. It is the people who put that system in place. Until we Nigerians put those systems whereby it's not based on individual. I don't care whether you're from Abia, you're from Ogun or wherever. I have a discussion with somebody, an Igbo guy, and he said, "Oh, this is the time for Igbo to rule." And I said, "With your experience and with your education, I should be listening to you based on competence, not based on religion, right? Based on competence." So that's what I'm saying, that until we Nigerians come together, create that system, allow that system to work, not individually system, like Fela would say, but a collectively system that will work for us before we can move on. And I think to do that, like I said, is start like Singapore did. Start changing the mindset of the people and going to educate them, going back to put that into our university, put that into our school, into our secondary school, into our primary school. You know, I mean, I have a grandmother. When I was growing up, my grandmother used to tell me, regardless of whoever is standing in our front, they are human beings created by God. So each opportunity to everybody based on their quality, right? But that is what Nigeria needs to do because the system is not there. If the system has been built to make us understand that this is a system, not us and India, right? That's what you said in London. When you go to London, everybody feel free because they don't care. They know whether the house, there's going to be electricity. When they get to the house, there's going to be water. But until we all come together, like the first I just said, we all come together, go on the street and say, no, this has to change. This is the system. Before I think things will be going up, Aisha, regardless of how many times we all stays in the front of the police, because the police himself is not even being he doesn't even understand why we all are standing to understand.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
So, Amadi, we're basically saying the same thing. Yes, we need it's a system that has to work. But what we have now is that we have weak systems, but powerful individuals. We have weak.
But those individuals, like I said, if those individuals know that they are Nigerians and they know the system, it's not, hold on, Aisha. Hold on. Let me give you an example. If you look at America, right? America is made up of 52 states. They all came together and said, look, this is the system we want, right? Oh, that's why I said, why do Nigerians hate Nigeria? That is my question. If I as a person understand that this is my own country, this is a system that not individual, but from a collective point, then but like you talking, is because we keep on seeing it that this is a politician. I will do everything to safeguard my politician. And this is a student. So he's a student who doesn't know anything, just come out of the university that is fighting. No, until he understands that what a concerned man also concerns that system in Nigeria before he works.
Okay. So instead to say, so you see why I was shaking my head, right? Was the fact that you are expecting people who are enjoying something. Hello? There is no incentive for this individual that Nigeria is feeling. They are enjoying power. One person to just come and all of a sudden he has barrel of oil feed from nowhere. There's this who is called, is it personal assistant to the president, who they said has how many billions in his account now. He was selling recharge card. It's reported selling recharge card. All of a sudden, he's this billionaire. I want him to come and fix system when he's enjoying from the system. Powerful individuals, they are fish. They are having fun. They don't want Nigerians to change because if Nigeria should change, they will lose out. The reason why you have one Dangote being such a big man is because he can have government policies. I'm a businesswoman. Most of the businesses that Dangote has competition, he doesn't excel. Until when he has government, that's when he does the most. His dancer, he did dancer juice, he did water, mower water, didn't go. His flour, he had to let it go because there were other players who are there. But because able to use the system in government, let me give you an example. In 2002, I was importing this tomato paste that was produced for me from China. I'll bring it in here. I had this thing there was a time I had over 10 containers at the port. And today I regret the fact that I didn't abandon the container and just pay my producer in China. I brought these things, I cleared them, there was one particular price, I cleared them at 110 port of the cost of clearing, bringing it out. I ended up selling these things in Kano for 615 naira. That was in 2012. Guess what was happening? Corruption happening. People were looting. And what they were doing was that one, they were bringing in fast-moving goods like us, predatory pricing, and they were cutting the price down. Second, we had big businesses were giving waivers. When they gave waivers to the big businesses, they did small businesses. The big businesses, what they did was that they now cut price. Immediately I brought in my product. What's this product? Gino reduced their price. You understand? I ended up losing so much. You understand? Hundreds of thousands of dollars in that year. On my 39th birthday, I didn't know it was my 39th birthday. I was busy writing because it was years later when I saw the email, the date on the email. On that day, I wrote to my producer in China and I said to my producer, stop production. I don't know what is going on in the country. They are pushing the prices down. People were looting money. It took me a while. It was the person that was helping me to clear at the port. I was, what is the heck is going on in Nigeria? He let me understand that because there was so much corruption, there was so much money. Today, Nigerians think because of that money that was flying around, they didn't realize that businesses like us were being shut down. And we had our employers go, and I let about 30 of my staff go. And that product, there were two things I was supposed to do. I had my distributor. They said to me, Haja, you have to do two things. One, you either reduce the quantity of what is in your container. So I will go to China. I will now say to China, instead of putting 70 grams, put 50 grams and label it 70 grams. I will gain do that. That's one thing about China. I don't care how you. I was in Shanghai in 2008 to meet my producer. They will tell you anyhow you want it. You want this African quality, European quality, whatever. I said, no, I want the best quality. And the product was good. I still have people who ask me of that product. Then the other thing they said I should do, I should reduce the quality. And I said to them, I cannot do that because those things will be unethical. And I would rather stop the business, lose the money, go back and continue my other businesses than do those things. I did. Guess what? But there are people who have gained from that system and they want it that way. That is the problem that we have. So these people who have gained, they don't care. People will come and they will come inflate contracts. A contract of 20 billion, they will say it's 60. They will share it. Why do you see Nigerians doing Chinese? Because Chinese will give you they no longer can do it with Americans or with the Europeans. Because in America, if a country does anything in another country, they will try you in America. So because of that, so these are some of the things that have made people powerful. So they don't want to change the system. And so everyone is suffering. People don't realize all of these little things are suffering. People come to my warehouse, they want to buy things, and they say to me, I should write a different receipt for them. I said, no. Sometimes my staff call me. They now know they don't call me. Haja, these people, they say it's a contract for government. They're supposed to supply government, but what they want for us are the product per tin is 7,000 naira, but we should write 17,000 naira on the receipt. A lot of people do it without batting an eye. I will say to them, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And businesses based on those. But you know what? I'm happy. That is why I have the moral justification today to look anybody in the eye and call them out. Because if I had done any of those things, I won't have the mouth to talk. You expect somebody who has looted money to be able to talk. No, that's why, they used to shut them down. When they come, they will open your skeleton and tell you, this is what you did, this is what you did. You see, people cannot talk. Recently, a lot of them were my husband worked in NHIS. He worked in NHIS from 2005 to 2010, and I dare any Nigerian, go and check the books of NHIS from 2005 and 2013. My husband was the director of funds management and then director of finance and accounts. NHIS kept money from about less than 10 billion to over 100 billion naira. My husband put his life on the line. You understand? Today, we are suffering. Pound is 595 naira. We are cracking our heads. But there are people who were in that position who looted billions, who today do not care whether pound 595 naira. And at one time, the board said they were going to sack. They even sacked my husband. He came out in a business day. It's just that they didn't have the cost to sack him. And we're like, no, wahala. If they're going to sack you, let them sack you. Because he said everything must be due based on due diligence. But guess what? Nigerians who are like that, at the end of the day, we suffer. They suffer. And they were, APC people have been checking. Oh, your husband looted. I said, look, if my husband looted a dime, he will go to it. Because when he was going for that job, I said to him, go there and don't touch anybody's dime. Because the name Yesufu, you're not the only one bearing it. You are bearing it. I'm bearing it. Our children are bearing it. Today, we don't have the money, but what? I have my big mouth. If my husband has looted, I tell you, guys, it's true. They won't be able to speak. They will not come and say this. They've been talking on Twitter. Hey, your husband was in NHIS. They were not trying to confuse him with another use. I said, no, go and check. And I've seen people on Twitter who I don't know will come out to me and say, when your husband was there, everything was done this deal. And we have a lot of Nigerians like that. But it's just that we have a system where when you do good thing, you're punished. When you do bad things, so that's how I'm saying to you, these people you are calling, they don't have the incentive because they are selfish. They want to keep enjoying and everything. If you think if you give me rights, that's only Aisha Yesufu will be selling pure water in Nigeria, you think I won't become a billionaire? I will enter Forbes list now. Yes, now. So the people that are enjoying it, even like during Jonathan, the economic team was made up of people who were beneficiaries of the economic team. Otedola and Co were part of the economic team. So what about the rest who are small businesses? That is why I'm just trying to bring real hard. I've been on the street because I am somebody who grew. We had nothing. You understand? We had nothing. And today, every day I look, I'm like, oh wow, from having nothing, at least I know how hard it is to work. Let me give you another example before I call him Michael. When I was looking for admission in ABU Zaria, I spent over 3 months. I had to, at one time, my parents could not afford to pay my transport from Kano to Zaria. I now found one girl, you know, bless her family. They took me in. They knew me from nowhere. We didn't know each other. Habiba is her name. She took me, she called her parents, and her parents took me in, and I stayed with them. I think I stayed with them for like close to 3 to 4 months. I was looking for admission every day, and I'm a very tenacious person. I'm a fighter. That's why, you know, when people say, why are you not giving up on Nigeria? I don't give up. Every day I was at Senate building, ABU Zaria. I will stay there till night. Oga, I'm sitting at the gate. People with less results than me, they will come in, they will enter with their fathers. They will come out with admission letter. I had, you know, when I'm thinking about this now, I feel like crying. Tears is gathering in my house. I stood there every day. I had nothing. I had nobody. My parents had no money. People said get their admission. But I stood there, I went there, I would stand. Some of them will insult me, some of them will abuse me, some of them will tell me to go away. The next morning, I will come again, I will stand in front of the academic secretary's office. I went to the academic secretary, I went to the registrar, I went to VCs, I went to everybody's office looking for admission. It was at the dying moment I got that admission. They gave me admission letter. I remember AU Misa was the one who signed my admission letter. 200 levels medicine. That 200 levels medicine, he made a mistake. They gave me 100 levels. I said no, because I did A levels, I did IG. I went back and I said to him, sir, I am supposed to get 200 levels. I did IGMB. I'm not a UME student. I remember that man at that moment. He said, okay, no, it was on a Friday. He gave me plain, signed it at the bottom. He said, go and write the letter to the faculty. I wrote that letter that day. Nigeria is a crazy country. I wrote that letter that day, and I went in there before I finally got that admission. At the end of the day, I didn't finish reading from ABU. I had to leave when they closed down the school, and I was always sick. I went back to BUK and now read microbiology. That is how Nigeria dehumanized us, especially when you are a child of the poor. I am a child of the poor. I watch my mates dying. My friends got married at the age of 11. I'm a very passionate person. I can cry when it's time to cry. I can fight when it's time to cry. And I don't care. My friends were dying because there was no money to take care of them. Some of them died from childbirth. I am alive today by the grace of God. I couldn't have, because my parents couldn't have afforded to take me to hospital, and I was always a very sickly child. Nigeria breaks us. It takes so much, especially when you are poor. You are not a human being, you're dehumanized. That's why I say to all of these politicians, and I tell you as I'm talking to you today, it's not as if they have not tried to give me money. They have tried this several times. They have told me they're going to make my business bigger. They've told me they're going to give me political, not even electoral. This I probably would have been the Edo State House of Rep after they took with all of that. But I said, look, the time I needed Nigeria to me was when I was hungry, when I didn't have school, when I was trekking to school. That is the time. And that is the reason why we must continuously stay on this issue. Shut anybody down, and the only time I'm going to shut down by the grace of God is when I'm dead. And until and unless I'm dead, you will hear my voice and and more I will still say about it. You know, when I remember childhood, it's you know, it just kept me going because people are suffering. When I turned 40, I turned 40 in November 12. I said to myself, Aisha, you now become the country selling shoes who were in your. And I always say to me, I said, the fight for girl, never give up on it, because if I give up on the fight for Chibok girl, that would mean that I have given up on the little girl that I was, who was crying for help, and nobody helped her. So this country, we died there. I did tell them they never knew. And it's Michael. Okay, it's Michael on this thing. Okay, I think Michael has sort of, yeah, it's a bit late, and you got me emotional there. Anytime I think about my past and how I suffered, you know, to get to this thing, I always tear up, especially because there are so many people who are going through the same thing. And so finally, I think I will just call up. I see Patrick, since Michael is not here, he was supposed to have given us the closing. I'll just give Patrick 2 minutes to just round up, and then we'll be able to go. Thank you so much. We'll continue to have this conversation. And I always say to people, for me, I'm a passionate person. I can cry on show. Yeah. If it's something to cry about, I can laugh, I can fight, I can do it, but I can box. Anyhow, I go do it. But the thing is that this country, I've said to myself, I will never give up on Nigeria, no matter what it does at me, no matter what it throws to me. I will continue to fight for Nigeria, for the unborn generation, the same way I wish others have fought for me before I was born into Nigeria. Hello, Patrick, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, well done.
Yeah, this Patrick Odwe. Yeah, this is from Lagos, Nigeria. Fantastic. This is my first time of watching your show. I've been following you on Facebook, but I just want to know what time you start your shows, so I can.
Okay. It started on 9 p.m. every Monday to Friday.
Monday to Fridays.
Anyway, okay. Yes, because I used to do it on Twitter before, but they keep blocking my account because the government keep having people report my account, and Twitter keeps sending it. So I decided, let me just start it on Zoom. And so we started this week. It's every Friday, Mondays to Fridays, 9 p.m. Nigerian time.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless you. And God.
Thank you. And so everyone, thank you so much. I think Michael had to go off. It's quite late, especially it's 11 o'clock. And some people like me, I'm a market woman, so I just stay on my. Oh, okay, Obori, you wanted to say something? Okay, I'm waiting. Wait, let me unmute you. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I just want to say thank you very much. I know we all want Nigeria to move forward. And you said Monday to Friday, so I will try to join as much as I can.
Okay.
You know, we can discuss, and also we can see what we can do to put plans together and communicate out there for people so that we can start educating them and let them know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Like even today, there are so many things that came up. I'm going to write that probably we're going to look at how to push them and take them on. Thank you so much. And God bless you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for staying on. God bless you. I'll see you on Monday, inshallah.
Yeah. Thank you.